So now that I have done pretty much everything in the beta, we can talk about what I like about the game, what I don't like about the game, what needs to be improved. What I do like is the actual gameplay. The most important thing about the game is the actual gameplay of the game. It's very much like Slay the Spire. Slay the Spire is, I think, one of the best games out there. It has so much replayability. We don't even know the end game of this game, which assumably there will be some amount of end game. Slay the Spire is just so repeatable. That is the end game, is playing more runs of Slay the Spire, just like every other roguelike and roguelite there is. The whole point is to just play, get different runs over and over. I don't know if there's enough stuff for these runs to be as diverse as something like Slay the Spire, but that can be more things that are added. Obviously, you can mix up your team. That's sort of the whole idea, right? So I think for now, with just what the beta has, that's fine. I know they are going to add some form of endgame at some point that'll be either some really hard fight, because obviously if you go in to Chaos, you can't bring a loadout. You can't bring any of your sets. So then why are we saving our sets, right? So we're going to have the Chaoses to do to get our sets, get our loadouts, and then they'll give us some boss fight like that last boss fight where you actually have to use those loadouts. Some hard content like that. And I think that is perfect. Another thing I think where the game really exceeds is the characters. Every character feels unique. They all do their own thing. They all have nice synergy with each other. Like, Orlea and Beryl have so much synergy with each other just because the way that their kits are designed. Magna is obviously really good with any character that applies a lot of shield because of her Storm of Biting Cold, where whenever she gets a shield, which everyone shares 1 HP bar, so any other shielder you have will give her stacks of counter, which is also really nice, and there's a ton of synergy like that. So there's a lot of different team building options. I do think the game can improve, though, on, I wouldn't say diversity, but card acquisition, I guess. I think the way the Epiphany system is perfect. I love the way the Epiphany system is, but a lot of the other cards that you can get in your runs just feel weak. They feel not necessary. A lot of them don't do anything. Like, some of them are really good. Like, this Maneuvering Fire card, very good. It starts in your hand because it's Outbreak of War. You only get one of them because it has Exhaust, and it does an AoE, so you get a free AoE at the start of the battle. But then you get cards like Ambush. Ambush doesn't even say what it actually does, because it didn't come back to my hand when I defeated something. It came back to my hand when I broke something. Which, that's a different problem. We'll talk about that when we talk about the issues. But some of the cards just, like, aren't that good. Like, Ambush isn't that good. I don't know if I have any other cards on saves that are, like, not good. Like Camouflage. Camouflage is very, very good. But then you have stuff like Camouflage, and then you have cards like Ambush that are just terrible. So, some cards are just bad. Some random cards. I don't know if I have any other saves with a bunch of random cards that actually matter, but they're like 80% of the random cards suck. If learning and buying cards from shops are bad, you're never going to do it. But you should want to do that because it's a roguelike game. Now, you do want to have some worse, some better cards, obviously. Not every card should be the best card in the game, because then that would make the game too easy, or you'd have to make the game so difficult that having any number of those cards wouldn't even matter, and that's not what we want. But some of the cards should be better. You can even nerf some of them, honestly. There are some that are just, like, bonkers insane that I haven't gotten myself, but they're just crazy. I don't know if we can look at any of them. Maybe in card collection. Oh, I can only see the ones that I've seen. But, like, Tackle, I think is bad. I don't have Tackle because I never picked it up in my thing, but it's bad. This Sadism card is terrible. I don't see a world where I ever want this card unless it's like a super high specific. Like, if my character does more damage if my card get discounted, sure. But I don't care about doing 1 vulnerable to all enemies for 1. That seems terrible. But this hidden bullet card. This card's great. I got this card on a barrel run, and it was great in barrel and even good in Orlea if you get this on either character. I think this one you can only put on barrel. I don't think you can put it on Orlea, but I got this one on Orlea, or on barrel with an Orlea, so I could actually trigger the preserve with the 2 cost, and this card could just stack up. It sat in my hand, and when I needed to play it, it was good, and that's fine. You don't need broken cards. You need just like decent cards. There is one that is really good. Rally. Rally is draw a card, gain 3 morale. That card is insane. And it's free. It's a free card draw, so it replaces itself, and it gives you 3 morale. So you're going to get 3 attacks with an attack buff. Like, some of the cards are just bonkers broken. Some of the cards are terrible, which I think that's fine. I think that's okay. Now, problems where the game is. Because I think, obviously, the main thing you care about is the gameplay. You care about the gameplay foremost. It's the first thing you care about. This game just isn't polished. It's like stuff that you'd expect to be in a beta. It just needs like a few more months of polish. So when you pull a new character, you'll probably see it in the clips when I was pulling at the start of this video. Sometimes the text is just like not in the box. Do I have enough summons? I'll do summons as I talk to see if we get an example. But sometimes there's just like, you get text of like a new character. I don't know if I have any new characters I can even get. Actually, here's 16 more summons. Maybe we'll get one if I get something new. Oh, we got a 5-star. Oh, it's another magnet. I'm trying to get a 4-star. I'm trying to get a 4-star to show you this example. We didn't get a new 4-star. I'll just rip these singles and maybe we'll get it. But you saw it in the video before. If I don't get one, I might cut a clip and then put it in here. Some of the summons, when you get a new character, just doesn't show the full line of them, what they're saying, because it's cut out. And then you have cards like Ambush, that's not what the card does. There was a situation where it's in my discard pile, I kill something, Ambush doesn't come back to my hand. But then I'm fighting that boss, Ambush is in my discard pile, I break it, and then I don't get anything back. Or then it comes back to my hand, sorry. Then it comes back to my hand. Even though it shouldn't, because it's not what the card says. Other things, we're going to stop summoning. I'm not going to get anything new. I need to show examples. Other things. I go here. This is a bad example. But we'll look at a mirror. What is metalize? What is metalization? What is metalization? Text like this, where it is a keyword that they expect you to know, that is character specific, so it's not on every card, like exhaust. Exhaust is a keyword that's on many cards. They actually put it out. Metalize isn't a blank thing. This is an actual buff you can get. So you should tell me what metalize is. I don't care if Amir is the only character in the history of the game, even 10 years later, if the game lasts that long, is the only character who can metalize. Tell me what metalize does before I go in with the character. It's the same thing with, look at this. Yes, you can say that, yes, you know what counter is, and you know what shield is, because they tell you because it's like obvious, right? Shield's a base mechanic. They teach you that. Counter, what's going to be counter? You counter attack. But if I'm new to gaming entirely, I don't know what counter is. You can put in a box, like you have Epiphany here. You say, okay, counter. When you're hit, you attack back the enemy that hit you, and you lose a stack of counter. Because that's what counter does. That's the text of counter. Something like that. There are a ton of examples of it. Like this. Morale is attack buff. I know that because I played the game. How is a new player who's never looked at this game before going to look at this card and go, okay, well, I don't know what morale is. This is my first day playing. I don't know what morale does. Shouldn't the game tell me? The game should tell you. Just 100%. All of these keywords that are... Which also, morale is something on a lot of characters. It should tell you. Morale, vulnerable, all of these keywords, they don't tell you what it does. Right? Like, it doesn't tell you anything about what cards do. I'm looking for vulnerable. I don't know if any of these have... Or, like... This is a character the game starts you with. And you don't tell the player what vulnerable is. That is like the main thing. It's just the text is bad. The text is just not written right at all. That is my main complaint. There is one more complaint. And that is with the gacha system. I know I just ripped a ton of gacha. Whatever. This is the beta. They're giving us extra summons. We got... I think I have all my mail still. 50 for playing the playtest. 30 extra each day. And I've logged in for all 3 days. So I have 90 extra. And then there were two maintenance rewards. So we got 20. The pre-register only gives 20 summons. Assuming that they also give us, you know, maybe a daily login, that'll give us maybe another 20. We get 40 summons out of the gate. I've done double that off the summons that they give you for the test realm. For playing this beta test, 140 of the, say, 200-ish summons I've done are only because we're on the beta. The crystal acquisition is so slow. And obviously you want to be saving your crystals because this game's gacha system isn't like Epic 7. It's not like Nikke, like those games you've played. It's the Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, Zenless Zone Zero, Weathering Waves type gacha system. Yes, the pities are a lot smaller. Obviously, this is a 70 pity. It is the smallest pity out of any of those games. The weapon banner is a 70 pity. I think Wuwa's weapon banner is 70, but everything else is different. Obviously, this is just Wuwa's weapon banner, but... Actually, I think it is 70, so it's exactly Wuwa's weapon banner. The character banner. There's 10 5 stars at the start of the game that we know of. Some of these could be limited. These could just be the 10 characters because it's the beta. Like, they could go, okay, everyone liked Magna. Well, Magna is the first limited banner. So everyone at the start of the game is going to want to try to pull for Magna, but she's not going to be on this banner. You're not always going to get her because it's that system where this is a limited character. You can only get her on reruns. She won't go to standard. It's not going to be like Epic 7 where every character, unless they're literally specifically limited, goes on standard. This is every character is going to be limited. And so you're going to want to save your gems. So if they don't give us hard pulls, the early game is going to be very hard. Now where the game might not be insanely difficult really early is a lot of these 4 stars are bonkers. Beryl, Tressa, Mika, all really good. I haven't played Nia, but I'm pretty sure Nia is crazy. Let's look at Nia's cards real quick. Nia gets 2 attack buff for 1. She gets to draw the top card of your deck. She just has a draw. Or not even draw the top card of your deck. Play the top card of your deck for 1. And it's a heal. So this character's really good. If I look at the Agent Collection, Cassius is the only 4-star I don't own. Cassius is the best 4-star in the game. Cassius has a draw. Cassius has a mulligan. Cassius has just like a free damage skill because you get these random quests that are so easy, by the way. Oh, play 3 0 cost cards. That's easy. You just saw I was playing 3 characters that have easy access to 0 cost cards. Play 3 1 cost cards. Play a 0, a 1, and a 2 cost card. Use a card from each character. These are easy. This is the best character in the game, and he's a 4-star. This card literally says, draw a specific card from your deck. It's free. It's a tutor. This guy is crazy. And he's a 4-star. If 4 stars are so easy to access, a character like Tressa is free. Mika is free. If you pull Cassius, if you pull Beryl, if you pull Nia, these characters are so good, and they're 4 stars. So you don't actually have to worry about pulling all the 5 stars. And that's actually a benefit. I know I was saying that in the detriments area, but at some point, we will get a time where you just play the 5 stars. Like, I don't know a world where I'm playing Maribel if I own Magna, unless they're on the same team. And then the second we get another shielder that's better than Maribel, I'm never playing Maribel again. That will happen. We'll get the super consistent tutor character that will replace Cassius at some point. That's going to be hard, because I think Cassius is actually better than literally 50% of the 5 stars in the game. Like, the only 5 stars I think are better than Cassius are Magna, Calpi, and Orlia. And maybe Kayron, if you get a good Kayron build. I haven't seen anyone play Hugo, but I don't think Luke, I don't think Renoa, I don't think Rin, I don't think Malin or Veronica are better than Cassius. So already, half of the 5 stars in the game are worse than a 4-star. And sadly, he is the one 4-star I don't own, so I can't test him. But, like, he is broken. I've seen gameplay of him, he's insane. And that's really good that there are 4 stars, free-to-play accessible 4 stars, that are better than a lot of 5 stars. But since we do have this Genshin system, and summons are so rare, you might be stuck in a situation like I kind of am right now, where I have no summons left. I don't own Cassius. I don't own one of the 4 stars. And I've done like 200 summons. Yes, I've pulled multiple copies of Beryl, Owen, whoever, and those all could have been Cassius, but still, I would hope I'd have all the 4 stars at some point. Now, at some point I will pull a Cassius. If the beta was like 2 weeks long, I'm sure eventually I'll hit a Cassius. But that's also with the free ones they're giving us. Like I said, I've done maybe 60 of my summons, or not even 60, because the other 20 were beta rewards. I've done maybe 40 like maintenance rewards. I've done maybe 40 summons from what the game actually gives you. And I've completed the first entire 3 chapters of the game. So really, the game isn't giving you any summons. It should be giving you more. Because they're not going to give you any on release that we know of right now. Because the pre-sign-up rewards are 20. And they gave us 140 for playing the limited beta test in the limited beta test to actually get everything. But that's not going to convert over to the game release. I wish the partner banner was accessible, like actually realistically usable, because I would like to test some of these 5-star partners. But the fact that there are a lot of them early game is good, because that lets you have a lot of build diversity. But realistically, those are the only 2 issues I have with the game. The text is just terrible. Nothing tells you what it's supposed to do. And it's just, this game is a Genshin gacha system. The energy system is the same as Zenless Zone Zero, which I think has the best of the 4. Mainly because you get the daily like coffee. It's literally coffee. It's the same. I already did mine today because it resets at like, I don't know, 3 or 4 o'clock or something. But like you can get the coffee to give you more energy once a day. So it, yes, the regen is slow. It's, I think, 6 minutes per energy. You are still getting an extra 80 a day. So you'll be able to farm everything fine. Nothing in simulation seems hard. It is a bit of a slow grind to get some of the rewards, but so is all the other games. It'll take you like 2 or 3 days to fully max out a character from scratch just by spending your daily allotted energy. We do have challenge. This did just open up. This is like the weekly bosses. So it gives you these. So like Eye of Wailing Prodigal is used for like Rin, I'm pretty sure. Like if I want to get this upgrade, I need to kill that boss. It's the same system as the weekly bosses in every other game. This game's energy system is just those games. Would I rather play this game over Genshin Impact and HSR and Zenless and Zero? 100%. And the only reason I don't play Weathering Waves is because I just don't have time. That game takes a little more time. And this game most likely won't, because you don't have to explore every single map. It's just playing the game for fun. And that's what gaming should be. So I think that's it. I don't know if I forgot. I probably forgot something major. But think of this game as if you're starting out in Genshin. That's a bad example. If you're starting out in HSR, because there's not much to explore in HSR, you're going to have the same experience. Minus the fact of right now we don't have as many limited characters as HSR, so you're not going to be able to clear the endgame content without any of the limiteds. But you could probably pull the newer limiteds and still be fine. So that'll happen at some point. Some of the text might be messed up, and that's it. But obviously this is the beta. We don't know how it's going to turn out. They might just crank up the summons you get. That's realistically the one problem I think they need to focus on fixing. The text can just be fixed. That one's not bad. I think the main problem with 90% of the text problems is, well, I guess 50% of the text problems, because 50% is just saying what the keywords do. So half of the time for the text should be going through every card, going, okay, this is vulnerable, make a thing for the, I don't know what the unit, does this use the unit engine? I don't know what game engine this uses, but I assume it uses the unit engine because it's Smilegate, or it's a super creative game. So go in, whatever, go, okay, vulnerable, keyword for vulnerable. When it shows up on a card, show this text box that shows what vulnerable does. That's easy. The other half of the text is on the summons of new characters. Just go, okay, make the box a little bigger if it goes to a second line. That's the full problem with the text box on pulling characters. And then give people more summons. That's the last thing. If this is the base roster, and there are 10 starting game 5 stars of the 21 characters, there are more 5 stars for you to pull that are new than 4 stars. Because Mika, Tressa, Owen, and Ray are all free. It's the same thing in, I think, Zenless, where there are more 5-star characters that are not free than there are 4-star characters. Or, you know what I mean? There are more 5-star characters than there are 4-star characters that aren't free at the start of ZZZ. So, if it's the same thing, that's fine. This game has a lot of build diversity just because there's a ton of characters. Eventually, you'll get all of them. But for an early game experience, I feel like it's only been as smooth because the beta has given us so many summons, but the game itself, if you take out all the beta summons, hasn't given you much. But I'm going to stop talking about the bad. We already did the full review. The game is great. I love playing it. I think there's so much diversity you could do right now, even without any actual endgame content, just because of the way the chaos system is, the way the save build system is. I think it's really good. It does have some problems. Those can be easily fixed. But really, that's all. This is a beta. We don't know when the game actually comes out. We don't know, how long they're going to give themselves. I think people are talking end of October, which is like a month and a half. And well, if they can fix that all in a month and a half, that's great. Honestly, I think everything they need to fix is super easy. They could probably do it in 2 weeks. And then release the game in 2 weeks. They're probably going to wait till October. But I think that's perfectly fine. Honestly, the way the art style is, I think a Halloween release would be fire. I think a Halloween release would make so much sense. I think that would be perfect. Like, Limits Company was supposed to release on Christmas. The most recent chapter at the time takes place on Christmas. It got delayed, so it didn't release on Christmas. But that's fine. It still made sense for the game-wise. But that, like, something like that, where this game is, like, all scary and spooky, if it released on Halloween, that'd be awesome. I might be talking out my ass with with Limits supposed to release on near Christmas, but I'm pretty sure it was supposed to release on or near Christmas, from what I've been told, when the game actually came out. But it obviously didn't. It doesn't matter. That is going to be the end of the video. I spoke for way too long. I'm sorry. This video is probably going to be an hour. I don't think anyone made it this far, but if you did, I really appreciate you watching to the end of this video. I hope you all did enjoy the video. I hope you all enjoyed this series. Like I said, I'm definitely going to be uploading more CZN content when CZN comes out. I don't know if I'm going to do something like this where I just go through my playthrough. Probably not. I will, though, post runs of me doing Chaos when the game actually comes out, explaining my decisions, because that's like the main content in the game, is knowing what the correct choices are, how to play the characters. I'm probably not going to spend money, so I don't think I'm going to do a guide on every single character, but I'll do the guides maybe on the characters I do like playing. So if I pull Orlia, I do an Orlia guide, something like that. That is going to be it. I don't know when all these are going to be posted. I don't know when this one is going to be posted. This one will be posted last, obviously, because it's the last video in the series. But hopefully you'll see this. Hopefully the game will be announced when the release date is by the time you see this. So, yeah, I hope you all enjoyed the series. And I will see you in the future for more CZN content, or possibly Flesh and Blood content if you're watching this from that. I don't know if this is going to go up before the second set review of Super Slam, but it could not. I don't know. But I hope you all had a good day. I hope you all have a good day depending on what time you're watching the video, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.